Hey, Jair Bula. How you doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm good.
So
Anxious, anxious today, but I'm good.
you're a little bit anxious? Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the beautiful Jair Bula, who is performing his show tomorrow night. Um, and it's the 25th, right?
Yes.
I can't believe that we're here already. The 25th at the Wi-Fi Theater at 8 p.m. And he is a part of the Solo Fest festival. So tell us a little bit about your show, the name of the show, and what it's about.
The title is Queer Drag Drugs and a TikTok Clock. And it's the story of my coming to terms with my queer identity, which has been always a challenge, a personal challenge for me in my life. And that just, everything that I've gone through and lived through to finally get to a place where I am finally beginning to accept myself and love myself for everything that I am. So it's just that story about that my personal journey. Yeah.
Mhm. And what made you decide to do this solo show?
You well, no, it was had to do with your guidance, and I had wanted to do a solo show, a different one from before, but because this is my second solo piece that I've performed, and I just I think with your guidance and along with my needing to tell my story and a need to just get it out of my system. um it was all like a very all happy synchronous accident, and I'm glad that I did it. So
Yes, me
yeah.
too. So for those of you who don't know, Jair did a run of this show at the Fringe Festival. So share a little bit about your experience there.
Well, it was a little crazy, to be honest. Everything kind of happened so quickly because this was after we were coming out of the quarantine, and theaters were opening back up. So everyone was trying to figure out how theater was going to happen,
Mhm.
what we were going to do, and how we're going to get audiences in the seat and all that, and what the guidelines were going to be. So the Fringe Festival folks were waiting for like the green light from the city,
Mhm.
and it happened like I forget how close to the actual like opening of the festival, but it happened rather quickly. Like it was like, okay, so this is what the city is saying now, so we're gonna do this. So now we need all this, and this. It was like once we got the green light to do live theater, everything was like, okay, now we have to rehearse, then we have to do this, then we have to get the theaters, then we have to get. It was just a lot going on at the same time. It was a challenge, but it felt so good. Like it just felt
Yeah,
great to
yeah.
be like pioneers of post COVID theater, right?
Hmm.
And just the experience. I met so many great people, met so many new friends. Um, for me, it was also about like getting to know my community in LA. I just moved to Los Angeles since like only like 3 years ago.
Hmm.
So it was for that purpose as well. Like I wanted to integrate myself into my artistic community, and I did exactly just that.
Beautiful. And the Fringe is great because they
Fringe, yeah.
they make it so that everyone gets to feel like they are a part of a community, of a family, So I love that about the Fringe. And they support one another. There's so much support that I witnessed during that run. So
Yes, yes. And in this particular group of artists that were in during the Fringe, we all were supporting each other, and maybe the fact that it was during a pandemic, I think that kind of brought everyone closer,
mhm.
and which was something that, from at least from what I hear, you really didn't experience in past Fringe festivals.
Yeah.
So, there's a good thing that came out of, this whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what made you decide to do Solo Fest after doing the run of Fringe? What made you decide to do it again?
Uh, Well, initially I wasn't going to, but then I saw that a lot of my friends that I made at the Fringe, they were like, at least two of them came up to me and were like, you should do it, you should do it, it'll be a great experience, you should do it. And I'm like, I don't know. And then, but then I saw that all of my other friends that were also in the Fringe were doing it as well. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
Yes.
do this, and I'm gonna put myself out there as well. I'm also, I'm an actor in Los Angeles, and I'm gonna keep it real. There's a lot of competition here, and you kind of gotta make a little ruckus for yourself sometimes.
Mhm.
And as an artist, and this is part of the reason why I signed up to do your workshop, because I remember one of the reasons why you jotted down for doing a solo show is to stay active as an artist and to create your own work and to
Mhm.
empower yourself with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And this is why I love doing these shows, these solo performances and projects like these, because I feel so empowered.
Mhm.
you know I'm not waiting for someone to come around and cast me in something. I'm like
Exactly.
doing my thing. I'm an artist. Aside from being an actor in a very competitive city, I'm an artist and I have a need to create and to
Mhm.
express.
Yes.
So yeah, so for all those reasons, like, Solo Fest seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, and then you also have a product now,
Yeah.
I mean, once you get a good quality tape of yourself, then you can use that I mean, you can book gigs without leaving the comfort of your home, right? Just from them watching it virtually.
Yeah.
And it's also just really important to just get that exposure and get out there and also, um, I know sometimes, like if I just do one performance, I feel like, that was it. I want to do
Yeah.
more. It's nice to sort of have a
Yeah.
run and evolve and explore and really live on stage with these characters, with this story and let it grow.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you decided to do Solo Fest and do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to see a show. He's so beautiful in his writing, in his presence, and and it's such a beautiful story as well. And anyone can relate to it because I feel like a lot of us at some point in time may have, I mean, it's a coming of age story, and we've all had to come of age at some point or another, dealing with identity, and so I think it's really important. What would you tell a solo show artist, if you were to give a solo show artist coming up some advice based on your experience in this solo show world? What would you tell them?
Um, I would just tell them, write it, just put it on a piece of paper, begin writing it. You don't know what it's gonna look like. Don't think about what it's gonna look like. Don't
Mhm.
think about, the jokes you want to make or the structure of it. Just write it from beginning to end and just write. And then your story will start to form itself and you will begin to notice where your story is and you begin to find your voice in it and what you want to say. So yeah, just just do it.
Just do it. Just
Sign
do
up with
it.
Juliette Jeffers. She's a great coach.
Yes, call me, call me. Um, so so lastly, what would you like the audience to take away after they see your show?
What would I want them to take away? I think, that life, it's not black and white, and that something like healing and coming to terms with oneself is a process, and that we have the permission to be who we are.
Mhm.
We get so conditioned to think a certain way and to live life a certain way, and that's fine, you know. But if something is really against who you are in your core, that is okay. You have permission to be you, as long as you're not hurting someone else,
Mhm.
you have permission to be you and to express yourself just as you are, because God made you that way.
Yes. Yes.
And
Beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, tell everyone a little bit about, not a little bit, we already talked about your show, but where they can get tickets and send us off.
So the show is tomorrow night, February 25th at 8 p.m. And you can get tickets at Whitefire Theater. Let me see, the whitefiretheater.com website.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that first banner that comes up that says Solo Fest 2022, and you can search the shows by name. So just type the name Queer Drag Dogs in the TikTok clock, and you will see my beautiful poster.
Yes. And you can also follow Jair at Jair Bula, right? On Instagram and
Instagram
Facebook. And then the direct link will be in his
will
bio.
be on my in my bio, exactly. In
Yes.
Instagram, I have the link directly to the site for my tickets on my bio, so that should be pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jair. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Me too.